Hello Tiger fans and welcome to Tiger TV.
This is Mike White with Coach Justin Cruse Show with Coach's Talk. Coach, thanks for being with us today.
I appreciate it.
But Coach, we kind of took it on the chin last week. You know, we got our first loss. But we did lose to a team that was very athletic and very big. I know we made some mistakes in the game, but I thought we played with them and obviously had a chance to beat them. But it seems like some of our youth sometimes kind of pokes its head up, and we kind of show it from time to time. But that's just my thoughts. What are yours?
Well, I mean, I think we definitely had our chances to win it. I don't take anything away from Northside. I know they're big, fast, and athletic, and I think they're a better team than the record reflects. But at the end of the day, we just didn't take care of our business. We didn't execute blocks or assignments on offense. Defensively, I thought was as probably poor tackling as we've done all year long. Just felt like we was reaching a lot. Not wrapping up and run through tackles, and probably pursuit was a little lazy compared to the rest of the year. Very different reasons you could say to that. Their size wore us some fatigue, but I don't think that. We're in pretty good shape for the most part as a team. I just felt like our mistakes and miscues, as far as penalties and stuff, really got to us as well. You look at a lot of our drives. If you go back and watch the game, we're playing from behind the sticks a lot instead of staying ahead of them. So. It's very hard to win a game when you do that. Not to mention we turned the ball over about 3 times, and when you're playing down and not playing well, and you're turning the ball over, it's really hard to beat any team, much less a team that is as big and talented as Northside is. And they did a good job of capitalizing on our mistakes. I thought we put ourselves in position with the first half, and I thought it was probably one of the better first halves we played all year long, considering what we had to match up with it. But we did a good job of battling back special teams. I thought really did a good job of helping keep us in it in that first half with the big, almost punt block, which gave us great field position, short field for the offense. They capitalized. Then you turn around and have a big kickoff return by Edler. Dudes blocked tremendously on that play, and puts us in again another short field situation. We're starting our drive inside the 10, and we just was hanging around. So we thought going at halftime, we'd clean some stuff up, and the way we've been playing the second half all year. We come out and take care of business. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I felt like we probably played our worst second half of the year because, like I said, our tackling kind of, went to the crapper, and our blocking. I don't know. We were missing a lot of blocks. We were lunging, bad steps, and just missed assignments, and then so it didn't really give our backs much room to go. And again, it's just hard to beat teams who do that. So. I think the kids are going to learn from it. They say you always learn more from the loss than you do a win anyways. And we had a lot of learning to do this week. So, that's just what we've been focused on, trying to clean up those mistakes and get better.
A lot of penalties, it seemed like, in the game. And, most of the time I try not to second guess the refs, but did you think most of them were warranted, or some of them, or what you know? Obviously that big run by Edler on kind of a reverse that went way down inside the 5 that was called back was one that sticks out in my mind. But your thoughts on that?
That particular play was definitely warranted. Going back and watching the film, there was a young man that just held on too long. Was doing a great job of blocking the guy, still on that edge, and he just held on too long. The kid started to get away. He was pulling the jersey, and it was on the end, and it's right there where the play's happening. So it was really an easy call for the ref. But there were some calls that I didn't agree with. One that sticks out in my mind, just going back, and it didn't have a big scheme, impact like that reverse did, because that reverse put us in position to score, and I think actually go up at that moment. And it took that whole drive just stalled and killed right there. But there's a play later in the game, I guess it's probably third quarter, maybe first of the fourth. We get a false start penalty. We go back and watch it, on the sideline replay where we got huddle sideline. And even this week, we just went back and watched it and put it on the big screen so we could see it and just watch. And we didn't have anybody false start, and I think, that was actually one of the times me and the refs had to talk about it and just kind of wanted an explanation, because, I think I'm grateful for the refs. I love what they do. Those guys have the hardest jobs on every Friday night. I know people, say coaches do, but at the end of the day, those guys are human, and they definitely are going to make somebody unhappy one way or the other. I just feel like it's a lot more of us being unhappy here lately than anyone else. But there was no false start on the play. We got called false start for snapping down in our stance, which is a standard football play. And, it obviously makes you wonder, like, what are we doing wrong? Is it something we're saying or doing? But, I mean, our kids are respectful. They have to be. And we don't let them play. And the coaches obviously are by example. So, I don't know. I just tell our kids, just keep being good people, keep being good sports. And, hopefully people, will see down the line and give you the benefit of the doubt on calls maybe. I don't know. But refs definitely didn't beat us. You can again say that kills some drives and whatnot, but at the end of the day, that didn't have any weight on the outcome of the game. But it is frustrating, but they're human, and we try to forgive just as much because we make mistakes too.
I'm just curious, how do they explain something like that to you when you question, and there was obviously no one moved? How do they justify, explain, what's their take on it?
Well, it's funny because there's a young man on the other side, on their sideline, and typically he doesn't usually come over. He actually came over. I was talking to the White Hat. The White Hat said he didn't know, and so he called the guy over to the flag, and he claimed one of our guys stood up out of his stance once we was locked down, which as soon as we snapped down, the ball snapped, so there's really no chance of that. But again, we went back and watched it, and I was like, we just sat there and watched it on the other side, no way moved, and he was like, well, 56, we didn't have 56 on the field. And I was like, he's like, well, then 66, which was our tackle, right there on his side, but the young man had his hand on the ground and never moved. And again, I don't know what he saw. I don't know if he was just looking for something. Could have been a big drive. We'll never know, because we didn't make the most of it. But I don't know. He tried to explain it, but obviously it wasn't to my liking. So the conversation was fairly short. But I just wanted to express my concerns, and hopefully that he'll give us a call here or two down the road. But again, I think those guys do the best they can, and obviously just like anywhere else in any profession, someone's a little sharper or better than others. So thankful for those guys, but obviously get frustrated sometimes too.
Well, I've always thought that was the worst job on the field, because no matter what you do, you're going to make half the people unhappy.
Oh, that's 100%.
So I can appreciate that. Well, Coach, of course, that game is over. We're 3-1 now, and we're trying to go 1-0 this week, and against our, I guess one of our arch rivals, Covington, the Battle of the Hatchie River rivalry. And I know you've been preparing for them all week. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking at with Covington. Covington is Covington, and we know typically what they are, but what's your take on getting ready for the game?
I think Covington is a pretty good, explanation. They're fast, they're physical. Coach Kirby does a great job over there, and his staff, been doing a great job. And Coach Wheeler before, and Coach Kirby was on his staff. Those guys are class acts. But yeah, man, it's kind of funny. They're not your typical modern day football offense. They are in the old school too tight T, and that's the only formation we've got on film of them. So, and I tell you, they do a really good job of it. They're physical off the ball. They're fast. The deception in the backfield. We always call it the twist and tornado backfield where I'm from. It was kind of made popular up in Northwest Tennessee by a guy that's from Ripley, Coach Randy Barnes. and he won a lot of football games in Union City up there running it. So it's something that hadn't been run in a long time, probably around here. But Coach Kirby and them guys have really done a good job of installing it. And I tell you, man, they're as advertised on film. You know, they're going to get after it. You know, and if you don't match their physicality, then you're going to be in for a long night. And that's just kind of, we've been preaching to our guys all week. And defensively, I've never known a Covington team since I've been here not to be very good defensively, because the same things hold true defensively as we're talking offensively. They're fast and they're physical, and they execute. You know, I think the one thing that they've done, I guess, worse than anything, it's hard to pick out on defense this year, is they're a little susceptible to the pass, which we haven't been great at passing so far this year. So, you know, we'd love to take advantage of it, but you know, let's see how that goes. And but yeah, they're well coached and they're really good. And you know, in my opinion, if I'm looking at our schedule, they're the toughest opponent on our schedule.
Well, and not going to give away anything, but I know that you're trying to take advantage of some of their weaknesses just by a little practice that I happen to watch. So a few wrinkles, as always, but to try to expose their weakness, I guess. Just got to ask you this: how are we going into this week's game as far as injuries and personnel wise?
We're banged up. There'll be some guys out there that you know you haven't seen as much. Some guys that you've been seeing a lot of that you won't see. But you know, the great thing about all their, you know, I guess elements, as you would say, is they'll all be back soon, that we know of. So, you know, we're just trying to stay positive and optimistic. But so we tell the kids all week, you know, when one person goes down, it's just another man's opportunity, and it happens all the time in every sport. But you know, just as much, maybe more in football at every level. One man goes down and someone comes in and steals the show, and now it's a competition, or that guy's got to earn his spot back. So it's just a great opportunity for other kids to get a chance to play and kind of showcase what they're doing and what they can do. And you know, we want those guys to get back healthy, because the experience these guys can gain the next week or two will help us down the road. So just got that next man up mentality. But we got a few guys out, and like I said, we miss them tomorrow night. We'll wish they were with us, but they'll be there cheering their teammates on, because that's just kind of what we are. We're gonna be good teammates above all, and I think those kids do that a good job of that. So yeah.
Well, Coach, I know it's a big game. It's a region game, and one that we definitely want to win, and it's Covington, so we want to win it even more. Want to wish you the very best of luck, and we'll see you on the sideline.
Yes, sir.